Hi everybody, I'm back again. This is Ladybug, and we're getting ready to start work on my on the rest of my fairy here. I'm just about done with her because, as you can see, I've only got this one, this one, this one, and this one to finish, and then we're done. I finished all of this yesterday. Yeah, got it all done yesterday. So now we're just working in this area right here. So let me get my stuff out and we'll get started. And we'll do our thing here. Ouch. Get over there. I'm going to swing you around. As you can see, there's my tea. There's my teapot right there. There's my fresh cup of tea. And so we are going to work on this right here. Okay. So let me get my other specs on. I use these, the more magnifier ones, rather than the just the regular eyeglasses. And that way I can actually see. These are the types that I'm using right here. Okay. I wear them on my head. I look funny, but you know what? It works. Anyway, thank you, Miss Bell, for the friend mail. That was really interesting. I'll have to try that stuff out later on this evening or possibly tomorrow. And we're going to get busy here. Let me see. Get my thing here. Oh. Get my stuff. 939. Okay. Get all that hair off of there. Get over there. Yeah, I'm still working out of the bags here. This is the last bag of 939. And then after this bag is empty, then I've still got the little container that's in my storage thing. And but we will get there slowly but surely. Yeah, I am drinking a cup of English breakfast tea, and be nice and comfortable. Well, let's start right here. Yeah. Anyway, so did everybody have a good day today? I know it was kind of blustery today, and it only got to around 60. So with the wind behind it and whatnot, it was just a tad on the chilly side, or at least it was for me. Let's put it that way. And but anyway, so I didn't do a whole lot today. I woke up with a migraine this morning, and I had a hard time getting rid of it. I think it, right now it's just a dull ache right now. It was pretty sharp earlier, but I did watch a few of the videos. I watched Miss Bell, and she was shopping in Walmart. And then I watched a couple of other videos. Watched Miss Linda. And then that was pretty much it. I just, what it is I was laying in the bed in a dark room and I was watching videos and I kept dozing off. So, yeah. Luckily, I don't get migraines very often. But when I do, they usually last like 3 or 4 days. Now, if you catch them soon enough, which unfortunately I didn't, not this time anyway, if you catch them soon enough, you can get rid of them within a day or so. But unfortunately, I didn't. I didn't realize I was developing a migraine until it just suddenly hit, and all of a sudden, it felt like my head was going to explode. I said, "Well, I know what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be hiding in a dark room, and hopefully it will go away. I took some Advil, and so hopefully it would go away. Well, it eventually it's gone. Let's put it this way: it's not completely gone, but it's bearable compared to what it was earlier this morning. But anyway, I really enjoyed opening that friend mail. That was really, really thoughtful. Thank you. You always, Miss Bell, you always package everything so nicely. Me, I just throw it in a box and send it on. uh, yeah. But yeah, I'm sitting there, I'm drinking some English breakfast tea. I haven't opened the new one yet because I'm still working on the other one from before. But that's what I made. I made a little pot of tea. And, missed. And that's what I'm having for, as something to drink. Because it is still kind of chilly out. So I figured I'd go ahead and have myself a little pot of tea and sit here and work on my diamond painting. And I think we've all come to the conclusion, because I asked everybody the other day what horse that I should do, right? And all the opinions are in, and I think it's going to be, let's see. Oh, where is it? There we go. And we've all decided that it's going to be this one, the horse's head, the horse's face. We've all decided that's the one we want to do. So that's what's going to be done starting next month. Hang on, let me grab a little sip of tea, okay? Oh, that tastes so good. Okay, back to work. Ugh. And so I gave him a choice of a little donkey, a combination. It's a black and white horse. It's a black horse and a white horse in a field, or the horse's face. And everybody liked the first one, which was the horse's face. So that's what we're going to work on. Alrighty. So like I said, I'm not gonna be overly talkative because of the migraine. Come on. And I'm gonna try to at least stay on here at least for an hour with you, so I can spend at least an hour with you guys. Yeah. Straighten these out a little bit. Yeah, what I do is I kind of straighten as I go, you know. And that way, when I lay the other drills, they lay straight. Yeah, there. Yeah, that other one that I was looking at, the black and the white horse, that one is a square, and it's a 40 by 40. So I think, you know, I think it's a good thing nobody chose that one, because it would take me every bit of a month or more to do that one because it being a square, you know. But I've gotten better at doing the square drills now than in the beginning. Let's put it that way. In the beginning, it was really hard to do because I wasn't, you know, that comfortable with working with the squares. But, you know, the more you do it, the more proficient you become. Right? Now it doesn't seem to bother me as much. I like the squares because of the detail. All the detail you can get in it compared to the round. You know, it just has a good look to it. But that's all right. Yeah, I do have a couple of cross stitches coming in though. Yeah, I found a couple of really nice cross stitches that I wanted. And caught them on sale. So that way they're actually about half price of what they were originally. So, and when they come in, I'll show them to you. But yeah, I think I'm going to take all the old clothes that I've got because most of them are pretty wore out and they're stained and, you know, they're not very, um, they're not in very good shape. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I might take all of those old t-shirts and I'm going to take them and cut them up and turn them into cleaning rags. Because you can always use cleaning rags, right? And no point in just throwing them away, right? And so that's what I think I'm going to do with all my old t-shirts. Because, you know, they're, you know, wearing out. They're wearing through. Some of them got holes in it. A lot of them are, you know, badly stained, you know. So what I figured I'd do is, that's why I've been buying so many t-shirts from Temu. I'm replacing what I had. And that way I can get rid of all those old ones that are no good anymore. I mean, they're not even good enough to, you know, send to Goodwill. That's how bad they are. They're in pretty rough shape. I mean, come on, I've had them for about 5, 6 years now, 7 years. You know, most of them. And so they're really not worth sending to Goodwill. Nobody would want them. They'd turn them into rags. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn them into cleaning rags and leave it at that. So, one thing about the W's is they are hard to cover. They don't want to, you know, sometimes you can, you know, they'll cover with no problem, and other times they, you know, they got the little legs and whatnot sticking out. So, over there. And that's what I'm working on right now is the W's. try to cover the W, but sometimes it's not quite so easy. You know. Yeah, I got one of my bracelets on. I like bracelets. I don't know why, but I just like these types of bracelets, the little stretchy ones. I like those. They're comfortable. Yeah. I've got others that are like the chains and things like that, but I don't really care for them. They're not that comfortable. And unfortunately, they do have a tendency to pinch. And that's why I don't wear them. Whereas these stretchy ones seem to be a little bit better. You know, they're a lot more comfortable. They're a lot looser, so they're not pinching your arm as much. So, yeah, that cube that I bought for the girls, they love that thing. My daughter says, "Yeah, we're gonna have to get a second one to keep out in the living room." And I said, "Yeah, probably." So what I'll do is I'll keep an eye on Temu until they come up for sale on a sale again, and then I'll grab another one. What I like about this one is you put it together and it's pretty stout. And then what you do is the edge of it, the cover or whatever you want to call it, you put the cover on it, but after a while you can take the cover off and you can throw it in the wash machine and wash it. And then you put the cover back on, which is a pretty nifty idea. That way you can keep it clean. And so it was definitely worth the effort of getting that one. And if I can find another one, I'll get another one and we'll keep it out in the living room for Lily. That way Lily's got a hidey hole out there in the living room. Not that she spends that much time out there. She spends a lot of time out there as long as my daughter is at home. Now, as soon as Melissa goes to work, then it's a whole different ball game. And she comes back here and hangs out in the bedroom with me and Frankie. Because I think Lily has decided that she belongs to my daughter. She has claimed my daughter as hers. So that's what I tell her too. I said, "Listen, that cat is yours." And she says, "I don't know why." I said, "I don't know. But she does like you." Yeah. And so anyway, so Lily is kind of my daughter's cat. You know. But that's all right. Get over there. And now Frankie is absolutely mine. Frankie goes wherever I go, and if I leave the room, right, and say go out to the kitchen to make a cup of tea or whatever, or make myself some lunch, within a few minutes she'll either follow me out or she'll sit here in the bedroom and holler for me. She does not like me leaving her by herself. And so anyway, so Frankie is definitely mine. And if I put her out on the porch, her and her sister, then she's fine as long as she can see and hear me. But if she can't see me or hear me, she is not a happy camper. So she is definitely my cat. You can tell. Yeah. anyhow, yeah, Frankie, what she does at night, if while I'm just sitting here, maybe sitting there drinking a cup of tea or whatever, and watching YouTube, she'll climb up and get on and lay on my chest while I'm sitting there and cuddle with me. She's been doing that here lately. You know, she'll get up on the table and then she'll just sit there and stare at me for the longest. And then finally, start talking to her, and next thing I know, she's up in my arms, and she's sitting there cuddling with me, purring. So, because normally she's very standoffish. She's it's not that she's unfriendly. She just likes to kind of stand off and watch. She's the watcher, you know. And Lily acts like anybody's cat. She'll go to anybody. Frankie, not so much. Yeah. Yeah, when I went to the doctor, they had to draw blood, and it's left a mark on me. Anyhow, so I have to go to the doctor's office about once every 6 months or so. It's mostly, let me back this up a little bit. It's mostly just to do my tests on my blood and that kind of stuff, and renew my prescriptions. That's mostly it. I don't hardly ever go to the doctor because I'm quote unquote sick. Thank God for that. You know. And but yeah, keep praying for my son and my daughter-in-law, because they are going some really hard times right now, and it's a trying time for their entire family. So I'm not going to go into any kind of detail. I'll just say that, you know, they're really going through some bad times right now. Unfortunately, things have caught up with them, and at no fault of their own, they've gotten into some trouble, and and he got a hold of a judge that's trying to make a name for himself. So keep praying for him, because he's gone through court, and this judge I don't know what his issue is. I just know that he's trying to sentence my stepson to prison for like 45 years. And so, anyhow, keep praying for them. Yeah, my daughter-in-law called us. Yes, was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday, and letting us know what was going on, and that Michael was being sentenced to 45 years in prison. And Michael's not a young man, and he's got a lot of medical issues going on. He's not getting the meds that he needs. He's a hemophiliac. Anyway, he's a bleeder. And they're not giving him his medicine, which he has to have. And plus he has a heart condition, you know. Plus he has to have this stuff. It's some type of medicine that it's like an anti-inflammatory for his legs and knees, because he's damaged his legs and knees so badly. And he's not getting any of that medication like he's supposed to. The only thing they are giving him is his high blood pressure medicine, and that's it. You know, but he needs all the rest of that stuff too. So I don't know what to do for him. I honestly don't. All I can do is pray. He's not a bad person. He just got himself into a situation where he was basically trying to protect his daughter from a drug dealer. And he told the guy if he didn't stay away from her or whatever, he's gonna shoot him. And the thing is you know, Michael let his mouth overload, you know, and he should have let the cops deal with that guy, but unfortunately, Michael is very protective of his girls, which is not a bad thing, but in that situation, it was not the smartest move. But the thing is that he didn't even have a gun on him or anything at the time. He just told him if he didn't stay away from his daughter, he was going to shoot him. That was it. He made a threat against him. And now he's facing 45 years in prison because of it. Unfortunately, down there in Florida, where we used to live, has been overtaken by drug dealers and what is it? What do you call them? Human waste. That's a good name for them. And all he was doing was trying to keep his daughter from getting tangled up in drugs. Anyhow, so just pray for him. Yeah. Because he had this incident took place in Florida, and him and his wife, Tracy, they moved to Alabama to get away from that nonsense. And anyway, he got a court date, so he went down for the court date, and now he's sitting in prison. So, and Tracy is still in Florida with her daughters, but yet they got the place up there in Alabama, and the house is about half built because they were building their house. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. So just keep them in your prayers, please. Now, the question is, would he have shot that drug dealer? Probably not. He just threatened him to get him to back off and leave her alone and stop trying to sell drugs to her. You know? But I don't think he would have shot them. He's a little bit smarter than that. You know, he's not that stupid. Yeah, we didn't find out anything about this until, well, it's been about a year since that happened. And I thought they had dropped it. You know, the guy had dropped the charges against him, and you know, basically let him off with a strong warning. But apparently not. This judge decided to reopen the case and looking to make a name for himself, I guess, because he's a young judge and he was appointed by DeSantis. So I don't know. Just looking to make a name for himself, seeing he's new. So anyhow, that's about all we can do is pray for them now. I don't like the idea of him having to go to prison. You know, because he's not a bad person, not at all. He's a good man. He's a good father. You know, and this is going to really do a number on his family. But anyway, I'm going to get off of that subject because it makes me unhappy. Okay, let me get some tea. But anyway, so I'm about, like I said, I'm about almost done with this. You know, if I push, because I finished all of this yesterday, all this whole corner. I finished that yesterday. And hopefully I can maybe, no promises, have this one done in a day or two. At least I'm hoping. Let's put it that way. And then we can get ready to start working on the other one. Besides, I've got the Fancy Cat I've still got to finish. I've got Nemo and Dory I need to finish. What else have I got? I think I've got the pink peacock that I need to finish. Yeah. And then I've got what? What else have I got to finish? I just got so many of them that are pending. Yeah. And then I got my larger size ones that I need to work on, which I haven't done. So, yeah. I don't know if I've ever shown you any of my larger ones. I don't remember, to be honest with you. I get this one that keeps falling down and onto the table, and like it's trying to tell me, you know, you need to work on me for a change. Hang on, let me see. That's this one here, and it's the Mountain Lake landscape. And as you can see, as you can see, I've gotten all the way over to here. I got all this, but it's got a whole lot more to go, you know. And this is the one that keeps falling down. And it's trying to remind me that to work on it. So anyway, there's my doohickey. Oh, there it is. And so anyway, so I am eventually going to get to it. Eventually. Get up there. I fell over the other direction. But anyhow, and then I got 2 others up there as well. No, 1, 2, 3. I got 3 others besides that one that are the large size ones. And so, like I said, I got a lot to do. And then I got the diamond paintings that Miss Bell has sent me. You know, I want to get that one partial one that of the black cat. I want to get that one done. I want to get that one actually started. I haven't even started it. And then, so I got a lot to do. You know. And I did a little bit of stitching today. Not much. A little bit. Let's see, where is it? Oh, here it is. I worked on this one a little bit. Let me show you. I know it's not much, but let me put that over there. That way I don't get it stuck to the table. There, I was working over here on this one. Get off there. And it's working over in here. And I worked all this green over here. Finished this areas right here. This is where I ended. But then I had some other green right here that I wanted to do. And then this 01, that's all 310 black. Yeah. So as you can see, it is slowly coming together. And eventually I will have it finished. You know. You see how nasty my back is. It doesn't look very good at all. But anyway. But that's what I worked on earlier today. I spent about maybe an hour on it. But then my thumb started hurting, so I had to back off and work on something else instead. Now the working the diamond painting doesn't hurt my thumb as much as working the cross stitch. So ooh, excuse me. Whenever I drink tea, I get the burps. Mm. Yeah, Miss Linda, she's working on her Tinkerbell or whatever. Yeah, that's what she's working on. And I'm working on this one. And I'm not sure what everybody else is working on. I saw that Miss Bell was working on look like greeting cards with horses on it the other day when she was on the live. Yeah, so saw that. And then I listened to Crafting Enthusiast. She was talking about spinning and weaving, I guess you could call it. Anyhow, she was talking about that. And then who else did I watch today? I don't know. I can't remember. I watched a bunch of people, that's all I know. Yeah. And Diamond Grandma's mother is back home and from the hospital. And, but she's having some medical issues with her feet. For being a diabetic, they're trying to keep her from having to amputate. Which I can understand. I've already been down that road. Yeah. I ended up losing my big toe to infection. And being a diabetic, it's kind of like par for the course, I guess. And obviously, I got a splinter or something in my toe and didn't realize it. And it got infected, and next thing I know, I'm having to go into the hospital and having my big toe on my left foot removed. And I'm going to tell you what, you may not realize it, but your big toe is a very important piece of equipment on your body. Okay, because of the fact is that it actually helps you to keep your upright, okay? And you don't end up losing your balance. Okay, I found that out the hard way. I went to bend over and pick something up and I just kept right on going because I didn't have anything to catch me, if you know what I mean. Those big toes are important, you know. And so anyway, yeah, I don't bend over without having something to hold on to now. But yeah, we're getting there. We're got quite a bit of it done. Have to get some more though. Yeah, see, a lot of this is all right in here. Is none, practically all W's, and then I got some more over here. You know, so that's your background. Hang on. I always have trouble with these little dinky, uh, these little bitty bags. They're hard to get open. There we go. And yeah, get more wax. Anyhow, Frankie, stop. Yeah, I'm gonna rearrange things with my I started storing my diamond paintings in a book. Okay, and then I put the drills in the sleeve with the diamond painting, right? But it has made the book so bulky and whatnot that it's not working. So what I plan on doing is going through those books, because I've got a couple of them, and I'm going to leave the diamond paintings in the book, okay? But I'm going to label and store the drills separately um, from the paintings. Right, because I have these large zip-up bags, and I can store a lot of bags of drills in them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to label them. I'm going to put the what they are. I'm going to put oh come on, put the canvas number on them, what the size of them is, all of that on that label. And that way I can store them separately, and I can put them in one of the drawers that I have. And that way it's up, it's out of the way, and the book isn't so big and bulky and fat. You know, it's I mean, it's like this wide, and it shouldn't be that wide. All right, and so it's going to store a little bit better being flat rather than with the drills in it. So, and that's what I plan on doing, I think, tomorrow. I'm going to sit and work on separating my drills from the canvases and work it that way, I think. And but anyway, yeah. But yeah, after I get the rest of my orders in, which I've got a few of them still, I'm still waiting on. But when they finally do come in, I don't think I'm going to be buying any more from Temu for a while until we can figure out what kind of damage these tariffs and stuff are going to do. So, because everything I bought before the tariffs. I'm just waiting for them to come in. And for some reason, Temu always takes forever. I can order some people can order something, and you know they can get their goods or their orders in within about anywhere about 2 weeks or so. Me, it takes me a month or better for some reason. They always seem to take forever to get my orders in. You know, I had one order, it was a couple of months ago, and it got to customs, and it sat there in customs. Oh my goodness, it sat there for almost 3 weeks in customs. Why? I don't know. And eventually, finally, they released it, and it got it on its way, but it did. It sat in customs for almost 3 weeks. So, I don't know. So like, unfortunately, I don't get to get my orders as quickly as some folks do. So when I order something, I pretty much plan not to see it for at least a month. At least. Anyhow, so. And so I've got several orders that's still out that I'm waiting on. And I got clothes and stuff like that in it. And I got one that's got, I ordered a couple of cross stitches that I liked. One of them is a really pretty, colorful butterfly. And it's a partial. It's not full coverage. And then the other one is a fox, and I think that one also is a partial. So, but I saw them and I liked the colors of them, so I went ahead and got them. I didn't spend that much on them. I caught them on a lightning sale, and so They're both roughly around $6 or $7. They're not that expensive. They weren't real expensive. I have to watch what I spend. So, there we go. You can hear Lily moving around. What are you doing, Lily? Huh? What are you doing? Well, that's not Lily. That's Frankie. Hey, baby. What you doing? Finally decided to come out of your little cubby? Yeah, okay. She's sitting over there on the other desk blinking at me. We got a lot of these W's are almost done. But yeah, that's what I got planned for, I think, for tomorrow, if I feel up to it. I'm going to go through all those diamond paintings that's in those books. And I'm going to do, like I said, and label all the drills. And then I'm going to store them separately away from the paintings. Matter of fact, I can probably add quite a few more to them once I get the drills out of those books. I can add more paintings to it. Yeah, because the books that I've got can hold 60 paintings, and I've got two of them. I got one that is that holds like the 30 by 40s or 30/30s. All right, but and then I've got another book that holds the larger sizes, the 40 by 40s and up. So, yeah, I got two different sizes. Yeah, those books are kind of handy. They definitely get it where you can store them and without damaging them. And if the weather cooperates, I might even try to seal a few of them, a few diamond paintings that I've gotten finished here recently, and seal them and get them ready to be hung up on the walls. Yeah. We're getting there, little by little. Over there. See, a lot of them we got these spaces where there are other colors. So I'm having to kind of work around them. Yeah, I'm going to try to finish this panel right here tonight. This one, and then I'll try to get the other one tomorrow night. Because I don't think I'll be able to get all of it in one go. No, I don't think so. Yeah. I was watching this. I enjoy watching this videos that are put out by Incredible Tiny Homes, and they come up with some really good ideas for small houses and small homes and stuff. And I tell you what, if I had the money, I would buy me one of them tiny homes in a heartbeat. They got this one, it's called the Mini Ace. And it's like 300 square feet of living space. It's like I said, it's small. But it has a separate bedroom. It has a living room, a fairly good sized living room. It has a nice kitchen and a medium sized bath, all in that one home. And it is the tiny house is I think they said it's 10 foot wide and it's 30 foot long. All right. And I would love to have one of those. I mean, seriously. Just imagine that that particular tiny home, set it up on a piece of property, up on a foundation or whatever, and then have a front porch attached to it, and have one of those sheds built. And what they call them is she sheds. Have that, brought in and set up. All right, I would have me a little shed that I can use as my crafting, where all my crafting and stuff could be. Be like a little studio. And then I would have the little house. I think we got all the W's, don't they? So that would be so perfect for me, because I don't need a lot of space. Just enough for me and the girls. Yeah. And all right, we're gonna have to come up here, okay, and get the rest of the W's, because all the rest of them. Nope, wait a minute, I found some more. Keep missing them. Oop. Be over there. What it is they've got W's and N's right next to each other, and they look like they're about the same color. Because these are 939s, and I think the N's are 310. And so, they're almost the same color. Yeah, almost got it there. Yeah, I had first thing this morning, I had to take a breathing treatment this morning because it was really hard to breathe. I think it's because of all the humidity, I think. So I had a hard time breathing this morning. Okay. Oop, found another one over there. Might get some more wax or something. Got one right there. Okay. Let me get some more wax. Yeah, I much prefer wax over the that sticky putty stuff. I don't know. I just don't care for the putty. It I don't know. It gets on the canvas, and then it's almost impossible to get off. But it's got great pickup. It gets all over the place. And I don't like it. So I'll stick with the glue. I'll stick with the wax. Yeah, I thought about getting one of those ones that does the air. It's like a little air compressor kind of looking thing that has a pin. I thought about it, but yeah, I'll stick to what I got. You know, I don't need wires and tubes going everywhere. So, mm. But it looked like they would work really well. But like I said, I'm very limited in space, and so I have to be very strategic how I do this. And so, yeah, my bedroom, and I spend most of my time in here, okay, it's very, 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 very small. And I've got wall-to-wall storage everywhere. And barely have enough room for my bed, if you know what I mean. But the bedroom is about 7.5 foot by 8 foot. Okay. And so it's very, very, very small. And I moved from a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, 1,200 square feet, to this little teeny tiny bedroom. But I had only intended to be here for a couple of months until the house sold. Well, unfortunately, the house never sold. And because I couldn't continue paying almost $700 a month house payment on my own, I ended up having to go bankrupt and file for bankruptcy. So I ended up losing the house. And let me tell you, I do miss having my own place, believe me. But that was, let's see, the house was built in 2001, I think. And then my mom passed away in 2008. So I moved over here 2011. And I've been here ever since. So I moved over here because my daughter and my son-in-law were struggling at the time. And so I figured, well, I can come over here. They can help me. I can help them. And everything will be good, right? Well, the market crashed. Then COVID came. And then it just one problem after another. And the rent, you know, all the rent and stuff went way through the roof. And I could never afford to move out. And I've been here ever since. So, and so time marches on, and my health has gone downhill since. So, like I told my daughter, I said, "You're stuck with me, honey." It's a good thing we get along fairly well. You know, we don't argue. I don't have, she has her space, I have mine. If she's in one of her cranky moods or whatever, I just leave her to it. I just walk away and go in my bedroom, close the door, let her work it out in her own way, kind of thing. And then when she's over her moodiness or whatever, then I'll come out and talk to her. But luckily, she doesn't get that way too often. Once in a while, we all have our moods. There's times that even I don't want nothing to do with anybody. I'm just in a mood, and I just go off by myself. You know. But I do enjoy doing these videos and spending time with y'all, even if it's only for an hour or so. You know. The only reason I don't do a live is because I'm more comfortable behind the camera than in front of it. All right, when I get in front of a camera, then I get all antsy and I end up and I start stuttering and all of that. I mean, nah, because I do have a stutter. That's why I talk so slow. I had to force myself to slow down after I had my accident and developed a stutter from it. And so that's why I talk so slowly. Yeah, because if I start talking real fast, I start stuttering and falling over my words. So we're almost done with these W's. I'm covering some ground now, honey. But yeah, so I just sort of I'm so used to, spending most of my time by myself. And, my daughter was trying to talk me into, going down and joining like the seniors, where the seniors hang out. But I'm not quite to that point yet. You know what I mean? And I mean, I still got a lot of life left in me. Not much, but a little bit, And I don't go to church because I don't have a car. And I tried, riding their bus. Oh, God, I couldn't even get in it. I couldn't, physically could not climb into it. So that was a no-go. And so I listen to sermons and stuff on the internet. That's my idea of going to church. But that's all right. As long as I get a little bit of the word in and listening and learning stuff, that's all that matters. You know what? We got all the W's, I think. Because all we got is N's, B's, and G's on the dark side here. And then the rest of it are the greens. Yeah, so we got all the W's. How you about that? Alrighty. That'll work for me. Alrighty, let's put this away and get a different color. What color do we want to do? Do we want to do N's, B's, or G's? Which do we have the most of? I get this little bag open without dropping it. There we go. Come on. And so we're going to work on one more color, I think, and then I think we're going to bring this video to a close. So how about let's do some green? How about that? There we go. Get in there. There's one that just does not want to go in there. It's determined. There we go. Alrighty. I need to zip this thing shut. There we go. Alrighty. Now, let's do some of the H's. That's 470. Yeah. Gotta have my little scissors so I can get this thing open. There we go. Got a couple of get out of the way. Thank you. Okay. Let's do these H's because they're nice, pretty green. Yeah. Did a twofer right there. Let's see. See, a lot of them are E's and H's and A's. All different colors, and they're all different color greens. So yeah, and they're all kind of scattered out. That's all right. Yeah, I'll have this section here. I'll have this done tonight with no problem. And then what we'll do is we'll work on the other section tomorrow and get it done. And that way we can move on to something else. You know. Maybe I'll work on Nemo. After I get this one done, I'll work on Nemo for a little while we're waiting till the first of the month. Yeah, that's what I may do. Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go out and heat up my tea because my tea is gone cold. But that's all right. Just stick it in the microwave. It'll be fine. Yeah, I have no idea what my daughter plans on having for dinner tonight. I have no idea. So, I don't know. I mean, maybe one of these fend for yourself nights, too. You know. Luckily, it's Friday, so she doesn't have to work tomorrow. And she may come in and not want to do any cooking. So, I know one night she came in and she brought in a sack full of Subway because she didn't feel like cooking that night. So we all had Subway. And like I told her, me, it doesn't matter. I'm not a picky eater. There's some things I cannot eat because it upsets my stomach. And one of the things that upsets my stomach is spaghetti. I like spaghetti. Don't get me wrong, I do. But spaghetti don't like me. Let's put it that way. It's not so much just the noodles and stuff. It's the spaghetti sauce. It's too acidic, and so it upsets my stomach a bit. So I have to be careful what I eat. I'm gonna tell you what. When I was a whole lot younger, I could eat just about anything. I used to have what was known as a cast iron stomach. Okay? I used to be able to eat your true, honest to goodness Mexican chili and spicy, ooh, hot and spicy. And it had jalapenos in it, and it was some good stuff. Unfortunately, I can't eat stuff like that anymore. My stomach won't let me. So I abused it too much, I guess. Anyhow, I don't see any more H's. I see A's. Oh, there's a couple of H's right there behind this little piece of tape. There's one. And there's the other one. Any more? Nope. That's it. There are no more H's. All right. Well, we did that pretty quick. And so anyway, I used to have this friend of mine, and he was Mexican, and his family, boy, they ate some really spicy foods, you know. And he used to tell me, "You should have been born a Mexican." He said, "Because you eat some of the spiciest foods like we do." And I said, "Well, I did. I loved spicy foods. Unfortunately, it doesn't like me anymore. But that's all right. Let's see. How about E? Yeah, 3363. 3363. There we go. Yeah. I love these little storage containers. You know, they're a little hard to get into, but that's okay because guess what? I like them. I like working out of them. Yeah. I am glad that I invested in getting a couple of them. Yeah. Yeah, that's another color, different color green. But yeah, when I was younger, I could eat just about anything. It didn't bother me a bit, but boy, it does now. Like, let's see. I can eat chili as long as it's not real spicy. It's like real bland, real mild, right? But I can only eat a certain amount. I can't eat a whole lot. And then let's see what else. There was something my daughter used to make. That was kind of spicy. Jambalaya? Was it jambalaya? Yeah, I think it was jambalaya. And I can't eat that because it tears my stomach up. And there's just certain things that she cooks that I can't eat. That's why I always ask her. I say, "What you planning for dinner tonight?" she'll tell me whatever, and if I can eat it, I'll eat it. But if not, no, I'll forget it. I'll pass. I'll have a bowl of soup. But anyway, you know. But I don't make her cook from separately from me. I don't do it. What I do is I'll just go in there and I will find something easy on the stomach and whatnot that'll fill me up. You know. But it's the curse of getting older. You got to be careful. You always have to be careful what you eat. See, I don't eat fried foods. What else? Most everything I eat, I have like air fried. I'll put it in the air fryer and I'll have air fried. And that's the closest I get to fried foods. Yeah, yeah. I can eat bacon occasionally, but not very often. Any kind of fatty foods, my stomach won't. It just won't tolerate much of it. So, yeah, that's why we eat a lot of. I eat a lot of ground turkey because what we do is I take the ground turkey and we mix a few spices in it and we add some of that beef bouillon to it or chicken bouillon, and it really umps up the flavor because ground turkey is about as bland as you can get. It's got hardly any flavor. But if you add a few spices to it, add some chicken broth to it or some beef bouillon or something like that, then it enhances the flavor considerably. And when you're eating it, you don't even realize it. It doesn't even taste like turkey. Okay. Which I can handle the turkey. Turkey's it's not too hard on my stomach. And actually, we all pretty much prefer the turkey over the beef. You know. And so, but anyway. Mm-hmm. But no, thank you for the another tin of tea from Miss Bell. I really like that. I like the little tins. What I do is when I finally get them empty, what I do is I put more tea bags in them, so that way I got a little place to keep my tea. Because everybody else either drinks sodas in this house, or they'll drink like iced tea, or they'll drink coffee. Me, I drink mostly hot tea, and occasionally I drink the iced tea in the summertime, and then the rest of the time I drink Crystal Light, um, like the fruit punch is one of them that I drink, and the other one I drink is the strawberry watermelon, I think. And those are the two I drink the most of, you know. And then when I make a pot of a jug of iced tea, I'll mix some of that Crystal Light lemonade. I'll mix that with the iced tea, and oh, it's good that way. It's very refreshing, and that's how I drink lemonade. Is I add one of those packets to a gallon of tea, and then and so it makes kind of a lemon iced tea. It's good. Yeah. So anyway, so that's how I use the lemonade that you sent. Is I add it to a gallon of iced tea and add one of those packets to it, and it gives it a lemony flavor. Adds a little zest to your tea, you know. Yeah, I drink sodas, but not very often. I drink tea or the Crystal Light, what I call Kool-Aid. But anyway, and it's all sugar free. So, we're getting there slowly, but we are getting there. Kill flare. There we go. It's got a little tiny piece of trash. And so anyway, that's what I do. But yeah, the girls are nice and quiet tonight. So I guarantee you about 4 o'clock in the morning they'll start stirring and start bouncing off the walls because that's what they normally do. They'll sleep just about all day long, and then all of a sudden they'll wake up and, Katie bar the door kind of thing. Because then all of a sudden they go nuts. Yeah. Yeah, I'm waiting for their teddy bears to come in. I bought them a couple of teddy bears. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to make like a spray out of catnip. We're going to boil the catnip and put it in a spray bottle. And then spray it on the teddy bears and watch them go to town on those little teddy bears. Yeah. I thought for a while there I was going to have to do that with the new cubby that they got, but nope. They got used to that pretty quick. Because cats are not like dogs. They don't adjust to new surroundings. If it's something new, usually takes them a while to adjust, but they adjusted real quick to that little cubby that I bought them. So yeah, usually I'll get them toys and stuff, and I'll have to spray it with some catnip, and then they'll start playing with it. Now we have this one little toy that Lily absolutely loves, and it's a little laser with a little red light, and she loves that thing. She chases all over the place, chasing that little red light. Yeah. Now Frankie, on the other hand, she just sort of kind of sits and stares at it and goes, "Uh-huh. And what am I supposed to do with that?" kind of thing. So, but now you give her a little toy or something, an actual something she can grab a hold of, then she'll play with it. But when you try to get her to play with that little red light, forget it. She just looks at it like, "Uh-huh." And then she just kind of looks at you and goes, "Oh, do I look stupid?" Ah, she's funny. Yeah, she's not easily fooled. Let's put it that way. Yeah, but anyway. Looks like we may have gotten them all or close to it. That one right there. Let's see. Oh, got a couple of them down there. And then I think we're done with the E's. That'll work. There. I think we got them all. Oh, got one up on top. Way up here. Right there. Missed a couple of H's right there, but that's all right. I'll get back to them. There we go. We are done with the E's. The only thing we got left is the A's, the J's, and then the T's in that grouping. But we are going to call it a night because I got to get up and move around. My leg is starting to hurt. And I want to heat up my tea. And then figure out something for supper. Because it's 10:30 right now. And I don't know how long we've been on here. I don't know. I bet you we've been on here probably at least an hour. At least. Okay. Well, we're going to call it a night. All right. And we are going to close this up for now. And we will see you tomorrow. Okay? You have a good night. Have a blessed night. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And I will see you tomorrow. All right. Good night.